I want you to show me, we're just gonna walk up and down the driveway. I want you to show me how you normally walk him, what side you walk him on, how you get him to come back to you, things like that.
I don't do any of that.
No?
It's so pretty work.
Okay. And is there already a difference with that slip lead?
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to show you some really basic techniques to keep him from being in front of you and driving you. So, you sit. And do you have a preference for which side he walks on for
Not
service
really,
dog
I
purposes?
guess. No.
No? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do left side just because that's like the typical standard. So if you're walking down the road and you're walking towards traffic, he's away from the road, if that makes sense. Okay? So, ideally, especially if you're going to do public access, a nice solid heel, his head, I know, will be straight forward or looking up at you, right? He shouldn't be swiveling and looking at other things. And it's going to be really difficult at first just because it's not in his nature to not be looking at things. You sit. But we are going to work on, good boy. All of his focus, all of his world is going to be on whoever's holding the leash, which is you, okay? Come here. Sit. Good boy. So we want his paws to be around the middle or the heel of your foot. We don't need him stepping, no sir. We don't need him stepping forward. We don't want him too far behind you. We just want him right next to you, preferably kind of leaning against you, especially if you need some of that more like intimate moral support when you're out in public. Come here. And he already kind of has like a good natural positioning. Sit. I know you don't like being told what to do. So he already kind of drops into that position that we want, right? So from here, every day for the next week or so, what I want you to do, I want you to practice. You're gonna grab this slip leash. You're gonna come out to the driveway. We're not gonna venture past the driveway yet, right? We're just gonna do some basic showing him what spot he needs to be in. So you're gonna sit. You're gonna wait a few seconds so he gets used to being next to you. He's not in charge, right? I have the leash. I've taken all the power away from him. So all he has to do is follow me. We're gonna step. Come on. We're gonna stop. I'm gonna ask him to sit. 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 Good, good sit. See how he kind of drops into that natural position already? We're not gonna add a word to it just yet. We don't want to confuse him by throwing a lot of strange words. If he doesn't know heel yet, me saying heel over and over again is not gonna mean anything to him. It's just gonna confuse him. Sit. Merlin, sit. Good. That's good. Good boy. Good looking at me. That's all we want. So for 10 minutes, you're just going to walk in a circle. Maybe even line up with the edge of this, right? And walk here, and then just follow this line. Look at that. He's already kind of found his spot. That's all we want. Come on. Come on, Merlin. Let's go. So we're just going to do this a couple times, and I'm going to have you do it. Good boy. Good sit. Good boy, yes. You can also do this with treats. I'm not saying you don't have to do it with treats. I prefer to start like the initial training process without food, so that way he's not expecting it every single time. Because obviously when you're out in public and he's working, you're not always gonna have a bag of treats on you, especially if you're like trying to shop or you know, you're going to the dentist appointment or whatever it is that you're doing. You're not always gonna have time to just like throw kibble down his throat. Come on, Merlin. Good boy. And when he gets too far ahead of me, all I'm doing is giving him a gentle tug to remind him to stay where I need him, okay? Same if he starts to fall back. I'm not gonna yank him. I'm not gonna tell him, bad boy, come over here. It's just a little bit of pressure to remind him where I want him to be. Good boy. Sit. Sit. Merlin, sit. Good boy. Come on. Okay, and there's people coming. So all I'm gonna do, whenever he looks at him, whenever he looks at those people, All I'm gonna do is do a sharp turn away from them. He turns to look at them again. We're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna do a sharp turn away. Because his focus should be on me, not strangers, right? Good boy. Okay, so this is the basis of a heel, right? He's right next to me. He's matching my pace. When we stop, I'm putting him in a sit. You know. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and take my spot. Stand next to him with him on your left. I'm gonna go ahead and rearrange. Make sure it's right on the base of his skull. And I want you to practice that exact same thing, having him on your left, and just walk in a circle. Kind of drop that leash pressure a little bit. If he's where you want him to be, you don't necessarily have to tug on him, only whenever he starts moving forward or backwards. There you go. Use that leg. That's a good boy, Merlin. There you go. And if you want to speed up, you can speed up. We kind of want him to match your speed. Go ahead and stop and see if he'll sit for you.
Sit. Merlin, sit. Sit.
Good boy. Okay, I would say that's a pretty solid start compared to, from what I understand, he was pulling and moving everywhere. So at that next mailbox, we're just going to turn around and come back.